white crystal with salty taste, representative seasoning. Indispensable seasoning in our foods, salt. We take salt every day, but we do not know about it. Let us learn all about salt from now. Here we have two kinds of salt. Salt can be classified into natural solar salt and refined salt. Refined salt is made by concentrating seawater. It is high-purity salt removed of impurities and heavy metals. It is also most common salt because it can be produced in large quantity at low cost. Another one is natural solar salt. Seawater is drawn into salt pan and natural solar salt is made by wind and sunlight without any processing. Especially, Korean natural solar salt is globally acknowledged as a good salt because it has rich minerals. We have prepared a test to learn the difference between refined salt and natural solar salt. We will keep fishes in 2 tanks. One tank has refined salt dissolved water while the other tank has natural solar salt dissolved water. Then we will observe the fishes for a day. In the beginning, the fishes in both tanks seem to have no problem. However, as time passes by, we can see the difference. The fishes in the tank with natural solar salt dissolved water are swimming healthily after 1 day. However, the fishes in the tank with refined salt dissolved water all died. The reason is the salt. Both salts look similar, but they have clearly different components. In other words, there is salt that harms our health, and there is salt that saves our lives. Like this, salt has big impact on our body. Various adult diseases, including hypertension threatening our health, are caused by excess intake of salt. During the past 5 years, WHO and worldwide countries ran the campaigns to reduce salt intake. However, the number of hypertensive keeps increasing. It is expected that there will be 1.56 billion hypertensive in 2025, which is 1/4 of the global population. I think now we learn the clear reason why we should take salt that is good for our body. Then, which salt should we take? The requirement of good salt is clear. First, it should consist of good components including minerals. Second, it should make our body healthy. Here is that salt. It is Symbiosol. Symbiosol is solar salt made in the Biosphere Reserve designated by UNESCO. Symbiosol is made by the patented technology of biotech to restrict the absorption of hazardous components by blood vessels. Symbiosol is the only salt that has been formally acknowledged of its blood pressure reducing efficacy by the patent registrations in United States and Europe in addition to Korea. Patents registered for the salt containing chitosan with blood pressure depressing efficacy. Barefoot doctors with 2,000 members from 5 countries including France, Spain, and Portugal recommended Symbiosol for hypertension patients. Symbiosol is being exported to many countries and is acknowledged as a good salt not only in Korea but also overseas. We did run human clinical trial tests on salt for the first time in the world, and it will be registered as a national drug code in the US FDA. Symbiosol passed the examination of Global Medical Science Society at Heart and Hypertension Symposiums held in US and Europe. It means that Symbiosol is not a simple seasoning, but it is acknowledged as a medical product good for health. Now, shall we learn more detail about why Symbiosol is so good and why we have to take Symbiosol? In 2009, the Ministry for Food, Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries of Korea selected Symbiosol as a product to support for human tests. France's Clinical Test Center at Dijon University performed a 3-phase clinical trial test on hypertensives. SBP is the pressure applied to blood vessels when the heart contracts and is used in the diagnosis of hypertension. In clinical tests at France, hypertension patients with SBP 150 mm Hg took 3 grams of Symbiosol every day. After 8 weeks, their SBPs decreased to 136 mm Hg. This result of clinical test is an amazing result because it means that Symbiosol can delay the prescription timing of depressant to hypertensive. About 80% of hypertension patients are sensitive to salt, and the blood pressure reducing efficacy of Symbiosol was clear with these salt-sensitive patients. It implies that Symbiosol can not only reduce blood pressure, but also contributes to the dietary therapy of 1.5 billion hypertensives around the world. Wait a moment. There can be a thought that salt good for the health may have less taste, is it? This is a Korean noodle restaurant in Seoul. This place has a special recipe in attracting many customers.
이 칼국수 면이 정말 쫄깃쫄깃하고 맛있어요. 일품이에요.
칼국수가 국물 음식이기 때문에 염분이 좀 많은 음식이고요. 그래서 저희는 좀 좋은 소금을 손님들에게 좋은 음식을 만들어 드리기 위해서 좋은 소금을 쓴다는 의미에서 리엄을 선택을 했고요. 리엄을 사용하다 보니까 그 자체에서 나오는 풍미나 이런 것 때문에 또 국물 맛도 개운해지고 깔끔한 맛에 더 좋아진 것 같은 그런 느낌이 듭니다.
Symbiosol helps the ripening of the noodles and gives it a soft and chewy texture. After using Symbiosol, revenues jumped. In addition, there is another popular product using Symbiosol. It is 소금 살짝 구운 김, which means toasted laver with less salt.
보통 김이 많이 짜서 좀 부담스러운데 이 김은 덜 짠 편이어서 아이들 먹이기에도 좋고 또 뒷맛도 깔끔한 것 같아요.
반응이 좋습니다. 소금 살짝 구운 김 짜지 않아서 아기들이 잘 먹는다고 많이들 가져가세요.
Both use Symbiosol with less salt content, but they say the taste is much richer. They say healthy food life begins from baby food. It means the taste should be accustomed to healthy taste as early as possible. 우리 아이 첫 소금, meaning the first salt for my baby, is also made of Symbiosol to protect the health of babies. Symbiosol has already caught the love of housewives. It has already caught the taste of consumers at large department stores and marts in Korea. Symbiosol is the only blood pressure reducing salt in the world. Symbiosol will help proper diet therapies for hyperintensives. Symbiosol will also help us in leading good food lives and prevent us from getting hypertension in the future. Start healthy food life with Symbiosol before you are too late.